1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the Mental Reps podcast, featuring your host, Brian Wright.
You just made your Tonight Show debut in February. Really solid set, by the way. Very impressed, because I know that's not easy doing a cold 5 minutes clean. But tell us how that experience was and how it came about.
Our guest this episode is comedian Eric Neumann.
I got recommended by a few comedians. They put in really nice words with the booker for me. And then I actually asked Liz Furiati, who's the general manager of the Comedy Cellar. I said, can I take 5 minutes? And she's like, oh, for what? And I was like, Tonight Show. And she goes, I could send it for you. And she offered it. And I was like, oh my God, it's so much better coming from you than me directly. And she sent it to Michael Cox, who's the booker of the Tonight Show. And he had a couple notes. He was like, you can't do this joke. You can't do that joke. And I sent him half a new set 2 weeks later. And he's like, and literally within 24 hours, Brian, he was like, perfect. Love it. Send me the transcript. You're approved.
This week's episode is sponsored by The Field Irish Pub Eatery, a little piece of island in South Florida.
I went to the Tonight Show. It was amazing. Honestly, like probably the best night of my life. And Vulture wrote this article about me right after that a friend sent to me. I didn't even know they did it. They ranked me like second best moment in late night TV that week. And I think number 3 was Billie Eilish. Like it was crazy, dude. And
That's awesome.
And fuck you, Billie Eilish.
Now fade out that fresh as beat and let's get this bitch on the road.
Welcome to Mental Reps Podcast. Brian Wright here. What's up, fam? I hope you are happy and healthy. Thank you for listening to the show, watching the show, however you're ingesting it. Quickly at the top, we have an awesome Shamrock comedy show coming up at the Field Irish Pub and Eatery this Tuesday, July 12th. Tickets available on Eventbrite. We get into that among many other things. Great show today. Real quick, be a pal and contribute to the Patreon page for Mental Reps Podcast. I have tiers starting as low as $3, and it all adds up and goes a long way. Huge shout out to Frank Rogers, the very first Patreon, and Lily Skipper, my OG Ride or Dies. I appreciate you. Also go to mentalreps.net and see all the upcoming events. Go to the contact page, sign up for free tickets to my comedy shows, among many other things. And I'm telling you, this is the best kept secret in South Florida. Go get them tickets right now. They start at $10 or sign up for the weekly drawings at mentalreps.net and win your way in. All right, my guest today, hilarious comedian out of New York City, Eric Neumann. We talk about his experience on The Tonight Show, his comedy specials, Tuesday's Shamrock Comedy Club, and a whole lot more. It was just a fun chat, more than anything. A great guy. I'm pumped for you to take a listen. But first, I have to tell you about my Irish brethren, my family, the official sponsors of Mental Reps Podcast and South Florida's authentic Irish Pub and Eatery, The Field, best damn Irish pub in South Florida. There, I said it. Multiple bars, the best tasting Guinness. They have those Irish taps. I don't know. They explained it to me. I still don't understand, but it just tastes better there. The best Irish American cuisine I've ever had, like shepherd's pie, bangers and mash, corned beef, the cabbage, Irish potato soup, but also steaks, chops, fresh seafood, and vegan options, so no excuses for your emaciated fedora-wearing friends. Live music Wednesday through Sunday, lots of Irish music. Tuesday nights belong to me there. We always have a good time. I'm either putting on the comedy shows, themed trivias, live podcasts, so come say hi, meet the neighbors. But if you're staying in and still want that authentic Irish experience, fear not, love. Go to thefieldfl.com and enter code word reps20 for 20% off your entire online order. Again, thefieldfl.com, code word reps20. All right, let's get to it. You're going to like this dude. Enjoy my chat with Eric Neumann. Welcome to Mental Reps Podcast. I'm Brian Wright. My guest today, look at him go. He's going to serve as a headliner to the next Shamrock Comedy Club at the Field Irish Pub and Eatery this Tuesday, July 12th. I've got a link in the description. It's on Eventbrite. You can go search for it, but suggest you move with haste, because I believe as of right now, there's like 2 or 3 dozen tickets left and those won't last long. It's Eric Neumann. What's up, buddy?
Brian, thanks so much for having me, man.
Oh, dude, thank you for coming, man. Really impressed. You've been selling a lot of tickets. Obviously, you got like a great following. I see you out here hustling, dude. I like that a lot. Like from an outsider's perspective, it looks like you're having fun, but I respect the hustle. I see you out here, dude.
Dude, I appreciate that a lot, man. Honestly, I just had a pretty big birthday. I just turned 35 2 weeks ago, and I was with my buddy Zach, who's my assistant, who's a young comic who's actually going to be with us. And I told him, I was like, this is the most fun I've ever had in my life right now. I'm like really enjoying it. I love the grind. I really savor and take in every second of it. So I appreciate you recognizing it. And yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to the show. I mean, we're gonna have a good time.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, tickets are really selling well, and I know that the people who are going to come out are going to enjoy the show. You're still a regular at Comedy Cellar, right?
That is my home club. I'm away a lot now. Traveling, doing the road. But when I'm in New York, almost every night I'm in New York. I'm at the Cellar. That's my home club. I've been there about 3 years. They're just so good to me, and I just, it's the highest caliber of stand up. Pretty objectively, I think. So I get to work with all my favorite comics, guys I idolized growing up. Now all the the A-listers. I think I've gotten to work with all of them now, pretty much. So it's amazing.
That's incredible, man. By the way, a lot of the comedians who come to Shamrock Comedy Club, they say it's kind of like the Cellar with better food. No offense to the Cellar, but the food's awesome.
Man, you're really hyping it up, man. The Cellar. I mean, I don't know if you ever tried the nachos at Olive Tree Cafe, but if you're telling me it's better than that, I might even come in a day early just to have meals there. Then, if you're telling me it's that good,
they have like award-winning chefs, bro. Like, so you definitely gotta come hungry. It's really good stuff. But I want to get into it because I know that we don't have a lot of time. Really quick. I know you, like you said, you've earned your stripes in the New York comedy scene, which isn't easy to do, but that tells you that if your peers, those people that you love growing up, they're now your peers, you're part of them. That should tell you that obviously you're on the right track. You just made your Tonight Show debut in February. Really solid set, by the way. Very impressed because I know that's not easy doing a cold 5 minutes clean. But tell us how that experience was and how it came about.
Yeah, so basically, man, it was weird. I had never, over the years, people had asked me, they were, I was a grinded out comic in New York. I started in New York in 2008, started at a club called the Comic Strip, worked my way around the city, did breakout at Caroline's, performed at New York Comedy Club, which is still one of my home clubs. And then got into the Cellar about 3 years ago. And, people throughout the years have sort of been and, you always want a late night set. That's something that no comedian can deny that. And if they do, they're lying. Every single comic wants to do late night. It's just a fact about being a stand-up, especially in a scene like New York that's so highly competitive. And I just, I always wanted it, and I was kind of pissed off when other comics who I thought deserved it less than me got it. Then I matured more and realized, like, stay in your own lane, eyes on your own paper, fuck what everybody else is doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And then I got into the Cellar, and I was there on a pretty nightly basis for about 3 years. And even in the last 3 years, people ask, they're just like, occasionally they're like, how come you haven't tried to get late night? I'm like, because they know who they want, I'm a firm believer about that. I know you can submit and you can do this, but I do believe that things happen more naturally than we give them credit for. And sort of when it's the right time, oftentimes opportunities are presented to you in the way they're supposed to be. And, finally, I just said, you know what? Fine, fuck it. Let me try. And the Tonight Show was the one I always really wanted. So I got recommended by a few comedians. They put in really nice words with the booker for me. And then I actually asked Liz Furiati, who's the general manager of the Comedy Cellar, who's I really admire a lot. I mean, she's just one of the hardest workers ever, and I just love her to death. I asked her if I could just tape 5 minutes to send to the booker of the Tonight Show. And she's like, no. I said, can I tape 5 minutes? And she's like, oh, for what? And I was like, Tonight Show. And she goes, I could send it for you. And she offered it. And I was like, oh my God, it's so much better coming from you than me directly. And she sent it to Michael Cox, who's the booker of the Tonight Show. And he had a couple notes. He was like, you can't do this joke. You can't do that joke. And I sent him a whole new set, or half a new set 2 weeks later. And he's like, and literally within 24 hours, Brian, he was like, perfect. Love it. Send me the transcript. You're approved. Just got to find you a date. And then this was coming on the heels of NBC's Winter Olympics. And so they take a 2-week hiatus, the show. And so he's like, you're either going to be on before the Winter Olympics or shortly after. And I didn't get on before. So I was like, so during the Winter Olympics, I was like, shit, when's this going to happen? So the Winter Olympics end. And I'm not even kidding, man. The day the Winter Olympics end, I got an email and he's like, can you be ready tomorrow? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. I was supposed to fly to San Diego for a show. I was supposed to arrive the night before. But I was like, all right, we're canceling that. And and I did the Tonight Show, and I pulled my set together. I ran it. Actually, you know, a lot of comics, they'll run the set 15 times, 20 times the same, you know, the night before. And I ran it. I was supposed to run it 4 times at every Comedy Cellar room. I was on the Tonight Show on a Tuesday, so it was Monday night, and there weren't as many shows on Monday. The Comedy Cellar has like 4 shows on Monday, as opposed to like 15 on the weekends. And I said, and I texted Liz, and she's like, oh, you could run it in all the rooms. And I ran it twice, felt really good about it. I was going to the 3rd room, which was the Village Underground, and before I was able to go on stage, John Mulaney and Chris Rock showed up. And so they went up, and I was like, all right, fuck this. And Liz was like, do you want to wait around? And I was like, you know what? I know my set. I've been studying it for years, you know, and this material particularly for the last couple months. I'm like, I know it. I'm good. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yep. And I didn't want to like drill it into the ground to the point that when I actually got on the show, I like had no heart in the jokes anymore. It was just like words, right? Meaningless words. So I love how I did it. I went to the Tonight Show. It was amazing. It was honestly like probably the best night of my life. And Vulture wrote this article about me right after that a friend sent to me. I didn't even know they did it. My friend just happened to find it. And they ranked me like 2nd best moment in late night TV that week. And I think number 3 was Billie Eilish. Like, it was crazy, dude. And
that's awesome.
And fuck you, Billie Eilish. And you know, it was an amazing experience, and it's been great, man. And just the whole touring that's come from the social media following and the Tonight Show and everything is just like, I'm just so happy, and I appreciate every fan, man. I really do.
That's awesome, man. That's a very cool story too. And like, again, I know that you, like I said before, you're a grinder and you've earned it. It has not come just by some fluke. You got 3 albums or specials out. I believe the latest is Nervous Lover, if I'm not.
No, so Nervous Lover was my first, 2018.
Copy
I then
that.
did one on a rooftop during the pandemic called Just a Phase. And then I just did a crowd work one called But Enough About Me, where I just did 40 minutes of fucking with the crowd, which has become a equally large part of my performance now is crowd work. So
they all reached number 1 on iTunes. I gotta point that out. I mean, they all did well. Awesome, dude. Very cool. Well, again, just super impressive. We preach the grind around here, and nothing beats hard work and determination, especially when accompanied with undeniable talent. And I
appreciate it, man.
See you grinding, and keep it up, man. I don't see how you could fail. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, that means a lot to me, man. I can't wait to meet you on Tuesday. I'm going to meet you on Tuesday.
Yes, no, I'll be there. It's going to be a great show. All right, so what we got is a little something called Hater Hall of Fame. Obviously, like to keep the show positive. We keep the vibes up around here, but especially in the times we're living in, it's also not healthy to keep all of that bottled up and only for it to explode on somebody in the wrong time and fucking Taco Bell drive-through or some shit. So I like to give my guests a platform to express what's pissing them off lately, get it out of your system. It's kind of like an exorcism of negativity is the way I look at it. So this is a little segment we call Hater Hall of Fame.
I hate you guys. I hate you. I don't even know you. I hate you.
You're tacky and I hate you.
All right, what's pissing you off today, dude?
I don't like dishonesty. I don't like phoniness. I like people to be real, for better or worse. That's sort of what I'm trying to really like implement in my own life now, man. Like, I'm just really trying to be honest. And yeah, so I hate when people, I don't like when I could smell the phoniness off somebody. It bothers me a lot.
Ooh, I like that. Very, very good answer and very truthful. I mean, that is one of my biggest pet peeves as well. You can smell it on them. And what's even worse and insulting is when they do not see how much they're giving it off. They think they're fooling you.
Right. That's the other thing. That's
of this fuck.
Right. Then that's like 2 strikes, right? Because then that's being dishonest and you trying to actually think you're outsmarting me with the dishonesty, which is the other fucking, thing. So yeah, totally.
I love it. Good answer. One more mental reps questionnaire and we'll get you out of here.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Why so serious?
What's in the box?
What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Answer the question, Claire.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Is Darth Vader my father?
For real, B? I want answers.
Without a good question, a good answer has no place to go. It's time for the mental reps questionnaire.
All right, brother. If you could meet anyone, current or historical, and spend the day picking their brain, who would it be?
Dude, honestly, lately I've been thinking Tom Cruise, man.
I just watched Mission Impossible 1 and 2 last night after seeing the new Top Gun a couple weeks ago. All right, explain.
I'll tell you what, he still has a bad rap for the whole Scientology thing, which somehow, even given his unbelievable successes, like can't quite shake 100%. But it's also to the point where I think like he's so amazing as a human being that like they can't let him have that completely. So they have to keep the Scientology stigma with him 100%. But dude, that guy, who's lived, how many human beings in the history of the world have lived life the way Tom Cruise has? I mean, nobody. And the guy is like the fact that you would even fucking try to hate on him is like insane. Like I would love to just honestly sit down with him, Brian, just fucking ask him. I would have a million questions for that guy. I really would. Yeah, I would love to spend the day with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. You kind of hope that he's going to try and recruit you a little bit and be like, oh, Tommy, I'm in dire need of some sort of ideology, something to steer me in the right direction.
Yeah. Hey man, I feel like I'm just like lost with like no path, you know, like do you have any suggestions of what I should do?
I love it. All right. If you had one round trip ticket in a time machine, when and where would you go?
I would have to go see the Beatles rooftop performance in '69.
Good answer. I like that. Very cool. All right. Obviously I know what one of these answers is going to be. If you could create a Woodstock type music festival featuring 5 musical acts from any era, who would they be?
Beatles, Metallica, Nirvana, Radiohead, and can we get Jay-Z and Eminem together?
Oh shit. Okay. I like that. Very good, dude. Very good answers. Impressed. All right. We got the quote of the week. Work like there's someone working 24 hours a day to take it all away from you. That's from Mark Cuban. I think that's a good quote. What do you think?
Amazing. Love Mark Cuban. Also would be high on the list of people I would want to spend the day with too.
Love it. Hey, dude, I know that I appreciate you, making some time. I know, like you said, you're in the green room at Side Splitters. Really appreciate you setting some time aside for us. Thank you for coming on. Cannot wait for the show on Tuesday. Again, go check out Eventbrite. I'm going to put the link in the description. Go to ericnewmancomedy.com. He's at I'm Eric Neumann on Instagram, eNeum on Twitter, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, you're in the Mental Reps family now. You're welcome back anytime. Can't wait for our show on Tuesday, brother. And enjoy your show tonight. Break a leg.
Yo, thanks a lot, Brian. Looking forward to meeting you, man. Guys, come to the show. It's going to be a fucking blast.
I love it. All right, buddy. Take care. See you soon.
Peace.